Hello, everybody, and welcome to People in the Boxes. It is episode 138. I am your host, Waylon, the Indoor Farmer. We are going to be playing a little intro to get the show started, get some likes and shares, and tag some friends. If you could help us out with that, and check out the show if you're watching the replay. Let us know what you think. We will be right back, and we'll get talking. Tonight's topic is going to be insomnia and sleep in general. You know, that's such a huge topic. We're going to talk. We're going to get into it, but we'll be right back, guys. Hit that like button. Let's talk about it. Let's grow.
Voices echo through the walls so thin, trapped in squares where the stories begin. Whispers rise from the shadows deep, secrets these boxes swear to keep. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Every cube holds a tale untold, hearts of fire, dreams so bold. Walls can't hold what the spirit sings, laughter and tears on fragile wings. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Cages or a stage to stand, a prison built by a human hand. Voices clash, then they blend as one. In the boxes the journey's begun. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. I hear their sound, lost in seeking yet profound. People in the boxes near and far, shining out like a guiding star. Voices echo through the walls so thin, trapped in squares where the stories begin. Whispers rise from the shadows deep, secrets these boxes swear to keep. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Every cube holds a tale untold, hearts of fire, dreams so bold. Walls can't hold what the spirit sings, laughter and tears on fragile wings. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Or a stage to stand, a prison built by a human hand. Voices clash, then they blend as one. In the boxes, the journey's begun. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Holds a tale untold, hearts of fire, dreams so bold. Walls can't hold what the spirit sings, laughter and tears on fragile wings. Every cage is or a stage to stand, a prison built by a human hand.
All right, everybody, come on in. It is Thursday night once again, 8:06 Central Time. People in the boxes, episode 138. It is April 3rd today, 2025. Let's bring up our friends. Kim, you'll need to unmute your mic and camera. There we go. Got Red Six with us in the house. We're working on the Rumble Studios. It is a little bit weird though. It says there's actually 7 people, but the screen says 2. Like I don't know. Anyway, if you're in the house, in the comments, say hello, hit the like button. Feedback here. Maybe one of you is just too loud. If you want to turn your audio down just a hair, I turn your microphone down, Kim. Still hearing it. Does somebody have it open twice somewhere?
No.
What is going on there? You guys hear that, right?
I do.
Sounds
I
like
don't have it.
speak.
Yeah, I don't have anything shared in either. It's some kind of feedback. Got my audio turned down. Rumble Studios, get it together. That's all right. We'll get it together. We got shuffled to the bottom of the Rumble algorithm anyway, so we'll just I gotta get my camera back here. There we go. We'll just have our show and have some fun. We do put the link out, so if anyone wants to come on screen, the link is out there. Just I don't see it. I might have to refresh my screen. It's getting old over here. See what happens on this side.
How come it got shuffled down to the bottom of the algorithm? What happened with that?
I don't know. I'm just saying that because I can see a drop in the reach, but it's okay. It happens. We had a spike in the reach last Sunday, but it's okay. It's boring to talk about. We're going to talk about sleep though, which might be a little boring, but you know what? We spend at least a third of our lives doing this thing. So it's a pretty
boring.
You don't fly and sleep boring well. I mean,
Nope.
Some people, when you get into dream work and some people naturally have more interesting dreams, but other people can actually it's actually like a skill you can learn and flex and strengthen, like trying to have vivid dreams and stuff like that. We've talked about that before, but yeah, I mean, like just the act of trying to sleep, a lot of times it seems like we get less sleep as we get older, not just because we need less sleep, but because we have more like physical problems. We have more aches and pains. And that for me right now, that's a huge thing. Like that's what's causing me most of my grief trying to sleep is aches and pains. I've got an ear problem. I've got some kind of shoulder problem going on. Speaking of problems, Red Six, you had a sinus infection. Looking like you're doing a little better today, huh? You're muted, my friend. I don't know if you.
No,
Oh,
sorry.
there you go.
Apologies. Yeah, I did. I'm kind of over it now. I'm still dealing with some of the lingering effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, a lot of weather change and stuff. It's not going to be easy on the sinuses anyway. Right now, it's crazy.
Yeah, we've had a lot of pollen in the air, trees.
How's your weather been with the tornadoes and stuff? We had 2
Crazy.
days of horrendous wind, like gale force, no less than 60-mile-an-hour winds to 100-mile-an-hour winds here in my community.
And that's funny because, like, I don't know about you guys, but I sleep better when there's this thunderstorm outside. A lot of people do, but then there's the change in the humidity and the temperature outside, which will then cause me to have allergy problems, which makes it harder to sleep. And so it's like a 6 1 half dozen the other with all the rain in the April season. But
we don't really get a lot of rain. Like
we get tons of rain.
We're supposed to get rain tomorrow and Saturday. I think they forecasted. I don't know. I didn't catch the news tonight, but earlier in the week we were forecasted to have rain for 2 days, which doesn't look like the kind of rain you guys get there in Illinois. It's like scattered rain showers in the area.
Like the kind that you could be driving and 1 second you're in it and the other second you're out of it. Like you find right on the edge. Those are crazy.
Did you ever watch the old I think it was Warner Bros. Who was it that did the Bugs
Like Wile E.
Bunny?
Coyote and Bugs
Mhm.
Bunny. Yeah, they would do that
You
stuff.
remember seeing the cartoon that had the rain cloud with the lightning would go through it and it would be moving across the desert
It would
with
follow
rain coming
people.
out of it?
Yeah,
That's
follow somebody.
exactly how our rain is here.
Huh.
It'll be sunshine everywhere else, but there'll be like this little rain cloud, not necessarily one as small as the cartoon, but you
Little
know,
little
compared to what you guys get, which the whole sky will be full of rain. We don't
right.
get anything like that
Well,
here. So
definitely as far as you can see, and even then, like we have like dark clouds around that, where it's not raining, but we don't know that because we're in the middle of it. But
yeah.
but no. On a serious note, though, my prayers and thoughts going out to everybody that was affected by these storms. Like, I don't know if you saw the post from Mama Rochi and Master Rochi. They got lucky, but they also still will have a lot to clean up and a lot to
Well, and those
fix
storms
up.
aren't done because we had that storm that hit them is a 2 day storm. So we had high winds on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Why am I not seeing the comments on the
Wait, what is
screen?
today? Today's
I'm not
Thursday,
either, bud.
and they got
I
hit
see people are
Wednesday.
commenting, but go ahead. Sorry, Kim.
They got hit Wednesday, right?
I don't know when it was.
I
I'm
think
gonna
they got
have to
hit
refresh my
Wednesday.
screen, guys. I'll be right back.
I think they got hit Wednesday. But
Yeah.
we had high winds Tuesday and Wednesday, and the next day. So on Tuesday they got it Wednesday, and then we had uh, high winds again yesterday. So there was day two of that storm. And I watch the Today Show every morning. They have all kinds of stuff that they talk about on that. But they had the national weather on, and there was a horrible line of thunderstorms with high rain, like there's supposed to be flooding. We didn't get any of the rain out of the whatever system passed through. That probably went to the north of me, but we got the winds from hell, and those turn into tornadoes. Always. Anytime we get high winds here, Texas is the first to get it, and then it moves Oklahoma and Illinois and whatever's east of New Mexico. The South, a lot of times, will get those tornadoes that we get the high winds for.
Yeah, you get Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama. Those states get a lot of them.
Yeah.
Well,
Arkansas.
this is good. I think there are forces out there that do not want me to be making anything out of internet work.
So
Period.
when I click your link on your post on Facebook, it takes me to your Rumble page. Then when I click on the video, it just skips right to only comments. And there's Brenda's in there, but
I saw Brenda, and
that's it. I don't know why it won't let me actually watch the live. You know what I mean?
I'll be right back. I need to go check my gate. They came to do something at my house, and I need to make sure they latched my gate because my gate latch is kind of messed up. And
Yeah,
I
you
don't
better
want my
do that.
dogs getting out. So I'll be right back. I need to go check that before it gets dark here.
that's okay. We might as well just shut the show down because nothing wants to work. Wow. I guess I can just look at my phone all night.
I wouldn't shut the show down. I'm sure people are out there
I'm
watching.
just being pouty over here. Brenda's the only one commenting. Testing what? Can you hear me, Brenda? Have you heard me having these issues? You mean testing? I don't. We're trying to get the comments to show up where they should be, and all I can do is comment on the video like I'm the one watching it.
There's Kayla.
Kayla, hello. I see Kayla.
I still can't watch. You know what I mean? Still won't let
I
me
can.
watch.
I'm watching, but it wants to freeze. I'm watching on my phone. It's just you just have to refresh maybe.
I'm gonna try to close that window and load it all back up.
But for some reason, I'm not getting comments on the main screen.
I'm not seeing any of them on here either.
That's
So
messed up.
it's
That's
weird. Well, there's one. Nobody. Got a
on the
hashtag.
screen. I don't see it.
Down the one on the Rumble studio.
Not seeing it, and I
No.
don't see it on my phone either. Well, you see us, Elisa, but not everybody. The this app is not working for everybody.
Are you having problems with insomnia, Red?
I am actually diagnosed with chronic insomnia. Yeah.
What kind of how does your insomnia affect you?
Me?
Yeah.
So sometimes, well, not so much anymore. I actually just got out of a year and a half cognitive processing therapy for insomnia group. So, like, where we study sleep and different kinds of things to do to help with it. But like big things with insomnia for me are like mood swings can be really bad, tiredness, low energy during the day, just never really feel like doing anything. Um, and then after you don't sleep for a long time, you kind of start getting sleep deprivation. You can hallucinate. Those kinds of things can and do happen. So there's a lot of different side effects. Those are more on the minimal side. Um,
Do you have a hard time falling asleep or do you have a hard time staying asleep?
Mine was both. Falling asleep was always really difficult. Um, Staying asleep is still kind of difficult. Even now, after being in that class and kind of learning some of the techniques and stuff, I'm still finding myself only able to sleep for maybe 5 to 5.5 hours at a time.
Have you had your hormone levels checked?
No. So I stopped taking all my vitamins and everything for the last month, and I'm getting ready to make an appointment, and I'm going to make them check my blood and do all that good stuff because I'm getting ready to turn 40. So
Well, here's the thing about hormones because I've been down this journey. So I had a complete hysterectomy in 2010, and I've taken bioidentical hormones, which are natural hormones, uh, replacement since 2010. And um, when it comes to hormones, so you have a natural decrease in your hormone levels, and that's men have estrogen, just
yep,
not as much of it as women, and
yeah,
they also have men have more testosterone than what women do, and a lot of the times when your hormone levels are, you know, messed up, which is a natural process of aging, it'll impact your sleep.
hmm So I had
So
a vasectomy done quite some time ago. Um,
that shouldn't.
no,
I
they
don't know
say it
that
doesn't
shouldn't.
doesn't have an effect on like your testosterone levels and things like that.
Yeah. Well, for women, their hormones, most of their hormones are sex hormones, are manufactured in your ovaries. And I lost my ovaries immediately. So I was slammed into immediate menopause
Dang.
in 2010. So I had to take well, I didn't have to take hormone replacement, but I took hormone replacement because
Did that cause some sleep problems when you were going through that?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I've had problems with insomnia a lot of my life.
Yep.
And I used to have a really big problem with shutting my brain off and getting to sleep.
Yep.
But I haven't had that problem in a really, really long time. My big problem, my insomnia is that I'll fall asleep like pretty quick, like within 30 minutes, and usually sooner, I am out. My problem is I'll wake up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock,
Yeah.
3 o'clock,
What
and I
time are you
cannot
going?
get back to sleep. Hey, leave the cat alone. No yelling in the house. So that's how my insomnia impacts me. And I don't know that mine is hormonal. It might have been when I was younger because my hormones were all screwed up. That's why I ended up, hey, get your nose out of there.
How long did you
Um,
take them for?
how long did I take what for?
Hormones after
Oh,
the
I'm still taking them. I will take them until the day I die.
wow. Brenda says she's only had to take them for a year after hysterectomy.
I want to see the comments.
Yeah, I will take hormones the rest of my life because once you lose your hormones, your muscles deteriorate, your bones deteriorate, your brain starts to deteriorate. You start losing your hair, your skin starts getting really bad, and the skin and the hair are one thing, but I live alone. I don't have anybody to take care of me, so I have to stay strong for as long as I can. So my bones and my muscles are very, very important to me. And you'll lose your sex drive too,
When with hormones or with a hysterectomy?
without having hormones.
Okay.
You'll see when men start getting low T, you start losing interest in sex.
We have kids with low T right now,
Yeah, I do.
teenagers and young men that don't have the right amount of hormones. And so when we think about that when it comes to sleep, I mean, all of our health while we're awake is just as not effective, but just as meaningful while we're asleep. Wait, I said that wrong. All the health while we're awake is just as meaningful as those same things, like the minerals, the hormones, the nutrition levels, all the stuff, hydration, all that stuff while you're sleeping, because otherwise it's going to be did locals change things? We're not live on locals, nobody. um, Locals did have an update and they changed the way it looked a little bit, but we're not live over there right now. We do have 16 people on the Rumble, but it says 2 on my screen. It's very annoying.
Same.
Just can't run a regular show. I don't get it, man. Like, it's just stupid.
Well,
Um,
your body, a lot of things happen when you sleep. Your body it repairs itself when you sleep. And so sleep is a very, very important function of life, of living. And if you don't get enough of it, I mean, your brain literally will eat itself when you have sleep deprivation. And so it's detrimental to your brain. It's detrimental to the rest of your body when you don't get the sleep because you're not resting and your body needs that. There's a reason why we hibernate those 8 hours or whatever. So, and when you don't get the proper rest, it affects your nutrition. It affects the way that your body processes the food that you eat and everything. It fucks everything up.
yeah, because what is
I,
it, like half a pound we lose while we're sleeping? So our body's like doing a lot of work while we sleep. Like
mhm,
there's a whole bunch of stuff happening, like digestion, and it's kind of like defragmenting our brain.
yeah,
There's something I wanted to bring up is that I learned this recently that your brain waves will go in peaks and valleys, like like the picture, but except for our sleep cycle goes in these large peaks and large valleys.
yeah,
Where and if you this immediately, and as soon as I talk about this, you'll start to recognize it happening in your own life. it, Whenever you wake up in the middle of the night, maybe you take a pee, or like say you wake up for your alarm clock, whenever you wake up and you feel like really tired still, like you could literally just close your eyes and boom, back to sleep if you wanted to. That's when you're in a valley. You're in like a low point with your brain waves. You're more in that deeper sleep. And then if you're at a peak, you'll know this when you wake up, because you are literally like wide awake, you've been awake for an hour already, like that kind of awake, like instant awake. And sometimes you do that, like say it's an hour or two before you're supposed to be awake. And one of the worst things you can do, which I always do, is to just, okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep for the rest of my allotted time that I set myself aside to sleep. I got 2 more hours. Oh, hey, I'm going back to sleep. Well, it's hard as hell to get back to sleep when you wake up during a peak, and you end up like spending most of the time trying to get back to sleep, and then and then just when you get back to sleep, it's time to wake up, and now you're in a valley, and you're just like, oh, this day's gonna suck. And it's literally just the state that your brain waves are in when you wake up.
yeah,
It happens sometimes when I have to pee in the middle of the night. That's why it's actually important to find out if you have any problems. If you're somebody that has to pee very often through the night, obviously there's a bunch of like that bladder. Men have prostate issues that will cause you like to have to pee a lot, and if that happens, you're going to be losing some sleep, regardless of just the few minutes of peeing, but like just that trying to get back to sleep thing. And or if you're like me, where you'll sometimes you'll fight it. You're like, oh, I know, like you feel like you got to pee, like maybe 10%. Like you're like, I got something in the tank. I'm gonna ignore it. I'm gonna just go back to sleep. Fuck that. And then you just fight it for like like a half hour, and then okay, fine. I'm getting up to pee. Damn it, like because it's just going to accumulate and get worse. So it's kind of
Yeah.
a funny thing. You're like, oh, I can just shut it back off. I'll go back to sleep. Nope, sorry, your seal is awake, so to speak. Kind of like the old alcohol
Yeah, that's one
terminology.
thing I have to try to make sure to do is go to the bathroom before I go to sleep.
Or well, and some of those things are bad habits, like getting a drink a little bit too close to bedtime. Or having a snack, late night snack is one of my problems. That's why I'm wrestling so much about with this like decision to either to move all my shows to during the day or like have them all at the same time at night. I've been talking about it because I'm wrestling with this decision. If I was
Daytime
to move,
probably wouldn't be bad.
it would be nice, but then the problem is, what would I call game night? Game day? I'd have to change the name of the show. But yeah, daytime would be awesome for me because my son's at school. I can do the whole nighttime thing, no problem. Not worry about like running into the show and having to cut time somewhere. It's one of those things. Brenda says I don't keep my eyes open if I have to pee during the night. I close them on the toilet. Yeah, I do this thing in Red Six. You might know this. I don't know if you would know this, Kim. In the military, they taught us, at least in the army, they taught us this. Where somebody taught me this trick, where if you are walking around at nighttime, you can and like say you're in the dark and you're trying to have like good night vision. You're trying to keep your eyes acclimated to the dark. If you go to like a lit up building or something, or you have to turn the lights on for a minute, keep one eye closed. Have you guys heard this? If you keep one eye closed,
I used to close the one that looked into the night vision.
okay,
Anytime,
yeah,
anytime we went around more ambient light than what my night vision needed, I would close my night vision light but leave the other one open.
yeah, and that's it. Kind of it doesn't. It's not 100%, but it helps to keep some of your night vision. Keeps your
Yes.
eyes from getting too adjusted to the light. It's
Yeah.
interesting. There's a lot of things about light that we learned. Like red light is a lot of times the flashlights they wanted us to use at nighttime because it doesn't reach as far. Like you can't
Yeah.
see red as far away as like white or blue. Yeah, it matters with your eyes too. The light
But
waves and the different.
the,
I know when I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, or usually it's to go to the bathroom, I try really, really hard not to invest my eyes too much in looking around, because the minute that I wake my brain up, the minute I'm not going to go back to sleep. So I
Yeah.
try
Yep.
really, really hard not to think about anything. I just walk in. Like I
Like
keep my eyes semi open so I can see just enough to not walk into the wall or whatever.
yep.
I don't turn on any lights. I just sit down on the pot, do my thing, flush it, go back to bed, and
I mean, I'll
Uh,
pee all over if I don't turn the light on.
huh?
I'd pee all over if I didn't turn the light on.
right. Well, I sit down to pee. I'm not
If
man
I
enough
were
to
you,
admit it.
I would be a man that learned how to sit down on the toilet and pee at night, so
And
you don't have to turn
Some
the light.
people have a visceral feeling about that. Some people are like really staunchly one way or the other on standing up to pee. Like some people are like, if you like women, I know women that are like, you ain't a man if you're gonna sit down and pee. Like, ugh,
No,
like
that's not
they
stupid.
look down on men for it. And it's like, you know what? Try being a single man and you having to do all the cleaning, and you try it both ways. Go a whole month while with peeing standing up, and go a whole month where you sit down as often as you can to sit to pee, and you're going to notice an enormous difference on the cleanup. I'm just saying.
There's this
Uh,
there's a guy that I dated that he had been in the Navy, and
I'll be right back.
he was very fastidious. Most people that have been in the Navy are very, very neat and organized. I'm not going to say all of them, but most of them, because you live in such small quarters that you just learn to be very clean and very compact with what you have. And anyway, he would come over and he would do the guy thing where he would stand and pee, and he was a very clean person. But I always had to clean up after him because the pee spatters on the floor and on the side of the toilet and stuff like
And
that.
all over you. It gets all over your own legs. We don't even think
Well,
about it.
that part I don't know about because I don't.
Well, no, you don't notice it, but they did tests where they show
Your
like
shoes,
like
especially.
they can do a simulation of like a computer simulation of what it actually is doing, and it's literally going in pretty much every direction. You just
Well, I don't stand to pee, so I don't know. I don't have that experience. Now, I have had times when I've had to pee so bad that I'm running to the toilet when I pee on myself a little bit, and I've peed down my leg.
You've never peed next to a tree?
I've peed under a tree.
you've
I've,
squatted down in the outside. Yeah,
yeah, but I
Sunday
don't.
Sunday. Good idea, Brenda.
Well, I mean, that's not a normal circumstance. So I'm talking about a toilet.
10 feet from your. Lisa says her toilet's 10 feet from her bed. Yeah, she doesn't need any light. Got a lot of good comments, man. I'm gonna have to just keep looking at my phone, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try one last thing, and that is to close this browser instead of refreshing it. I'll be back one more time. I hope this does something, but I guess it won't. But
Oh, I'm so tired. I don't know, dude. I would look at
Are you a napper?
no. If I take the only time I'll sleep during the day is if I have like something that's causing me to have a really high fever.
See, when I was deployed, we used to sleep 2 4-hour periods during the day. Like that was our sleep. Like
Yeah.
plus you had to throw in guard duty and everything on top of that. So, and I've never really been able to get out of that
Yeah.
sleep cycle. And Wayland, like especially like people that are retired, man, it's hard to stay awake
Well,
some days all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
naps can be a can be detrimental these days.
Yes, they're terrible for sleep problems. Even if you're looking to get on a regular sleep schedule, naps are like no.
There
Well,
are times when I take these, I don't know what you call them.
They say 25 minutes is like a power nap kind of thing.
I do this kind of a thing sometimes when I'm like really, really exhausted where I don't go to sleep, but I'll lay back and it's kind of like a really deeply relaxed state. And I'll do that, but I don't fall asleep. I don't never lose consciousness, but it's like a really deeply relaxed state. That's as close as I get to taking a nap. Because if I take a nap in the daytime, oh my God, I wake up groggy. I'm fucking groggy the rest of the day and I get grumpy,
Yep.
really bad grumpy.
Yeah. I used to get really angry when people would wake me up.
I
I'm
remember
grumpy
when I
right
was in
now.
basic training, of course we had dorm guard duty where you had to walk around with your flashlight and you had to check all points and keep a log and all this shit an hour every night, right? And I remember one night I had dorm guard duty like at 1 o'clock in the morning or something. And so I did my duty. Next person came on shift. I went to bed and I knocked out like right away. And all of a sudden, I'm being woken up to somebody violently shaking me. And I came flying up out of the bed like it was crazy. Like,
Ready to fight.
yeah, because they were shaking me and I just came up out of the bed. I got in trouble for it. But I guess I had gone to bed and I fell asleep like really, really fast. And I had just had dorm guard duty and they needed to have an escort. They needed an escort and you couldn't escort, you couldn't leave a person by themselves. So that means that they had to have two people escort one person because it was in the middle of the night. And so it was called buddy duty or buddies system or something about buddies.
The buddy system.
Yeah, so so they were waking me up. I had just done dorm guard duty and I had fallen asleep and they were waking me up to go escort this girl somewhere in the middle of the fucking night. And they were like violently shaking me, and I come flying up out of the bed, cussing and all kinds of stuff. Like I made a big noise because I had fallen dead asleep. And so the next day I got called into the office by my TI, and I was like, dude, I fell asleep. Well, I didn't say dude, but I was like, I fell asleep. Like I was dead asleep. And I said, the next thing I know, somebody is like shaking me like this out of a dead sleep. So I don't know. It's
You
weird.
sometimes you bring that to your dream though. You think you're still sleeping, like things that are happening around you in real life. You don't wake up to them because you think you're still, part of you. Oh, you're still in your dream or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I probably fell asleep and probably hit REM cycle really, really fast. Because I was
Okay.
probably in a REM cycle when they did that. I was out.
well, I've tried everything I can try. It's just not going to work tonight. We got 20 people in here, but I can't. I don't get to read an ad. Imagine this was my business, and imagine my paycheck, what like was contingent off of my, like, say we had thousands of people in here, but yet the glitches kept me from actually doing any of like the things that made. I just imagine one day when we have like a much bigger audience in here, and then we have to deal with the same garbage. Like what do the big guys have to do with this stuff? They probably just call them up. They just have a back channel phone call. They can just
Yeah,
hey, fix
there's a
this up.
having problems.
Well, I've seen some, but not like I'm having. I don't know if it's like they only have so much bandwidth, so they take it away from the smaller accounts. I don't know. I always think of something nefarious, but it's like, who knows? It's just a glitch, and the Rumble is trying to update and they're trying to expand and everything else. So maybe that's all it is. But if anybody's out there, I see Lisa. Lisa, you want to pop up and grace us with your presence? You're welcome. Anybody that wants to be on screen to share their experience with sleep, come and join us. Well, this shows people in the boxes, not just us three. We want to see you guys too. Let's see if I can send the link out one more time. I did want to pull up the specific differences of insomnia versus like regular sleeplessness. Jeez,
Yeah, there's
because I know they're different. Say
different
again.
stages of insomnia too. Like you can have temporary type of insomnia that lasts for a month or two, or chronic that lasts for longer than 3 months, 4
Oh, we
Hey,
months.
know about that chronic. Oh, sorry.
Red, have
Yeah,
you done a sleep study?
I have. Yeah,
You have a, what do you call it? Where you have to
sleep
do,
apnea.
yeah.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
I bet you
uh,
that may be part of your
that's part.
insomnia.
That's part of my insomnia problems too. Yeah.
Do you have a sleep machine or anything?
So I'm lucky. I get to try out this new dental device thing that they're making out of acrylic, which is basically like a mouthpiece, and it keeps your bottom jaw from sliding back, allowing you to close off your airway.
Right.
So,
How long have you had that?
probably a year now.
And has it helped?
It works, yes. You kind of got to get over wearing this.
Something
At
you
first, it's bulky, until they kind of get it to fit, and you go back several times and they make adjustments to it to where you're comfortable sleeping with it, and it works.
do you think that that maybe have something to do with your insomnia?
The sleep apnea,
No, well, yeah, the sleep apnea, but that thing too.
I seem to sleep better with it. I also have a problem like when I sleep, I grind my teeth and I kind of grit and smash them together type of stuff. So I
Hmm.
was waking up with real bad headaches and my teeth would hurt real bad. So that mouthpiece also helps me, kind of not. I mean, I still do it, but with the mouth guards in place, it doesn't allow me to grind my teeth together. I'm basically just grinding those two pieces of plastic or acrylic against each other, and my teeth aren't taking all that damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to do that too. I didn't grind my teeth as much as I clench my jaw in my sleep.
Yeah. Even that clenching of the jaw can really be bad.
Yeah. I don't do that as much anymore. And I try to be like, I don't know, I've tried to train my mind where I relax my jaw. I try to be mindful of that, like when I'm laying there going to sleep, or, anytime I notice that I'm clenching my jaw or have a potential, like I try to be mindful of
This
just like holding my mouth where I'm not doing
this
that.
is a daytime device I have to wear to adjust my jaw to stay down off my teeth.
Mm,
So I do it even while I'm
during the
awake.
day. Yeah, I do it too.
So
Like I carry a lot of stress. I have a very stressful job and stuff. So,
stress can lead to
Ooh,
insomnia.
yep.
yep.
Well, it
S-
makes your cortisol. I did a
All
I did
whack.
a urine test
Oh,
several years ago.
this was sitting down, right?
Actually, it was peeing on a stick,
Oh,
and
well,
I had to at different intervals of the day, because what they do is they check your cortisol levels in your urine. Cortisol comes out in your urine, and so they would check my cortisol levels and stuff. And my cortisol was really high at night. So I take these supplements. Um,
magnesium.
no, it's got ashwagandha and I don't know. It's a proprietary blend that I got from a
Ooh.
compounding pharmacy out of Ohio.
Chris says I bite into my jaw and into my cheek almost every night. Chris, I'd be wearing a mouth guard, bro.
Yeah.
I'd be wearing a mouth guard. So one thing I got that helps me sleep, um, and there are some downsides to it, but I have a mask, my face, my eyes. Uh, it has
CPAP?
like a no, it's just like an eye mask. It covers my eyes to black out the room, and it has like these sort of cups. It's a soft cloth mask, but it has like little domes over each eye
Yeah.
with like kind of cups. And but the problem is it will slide up a little bit, just slide up just enough to where my eye's not in the cup anymore, and it's just being just pushing right on my eye, which isn't gonna wake me up, but it is something I'll adjust it through the night, here and there. But since I got that, I did notice that I slept a lot better. It's like you could black out your room, but there's still light in the house. So when I put those on, man, especially when I have my son here, I usually leave a night light on in the hallway or something like that, and it's just much easier for me to just black out my head than it is the whole room that I'm in. Sometimes you got like a humidifier running. There's a little green light on that, or different small lights everywhere. My other half wears a mask. Brenda, yeah, is it like the flat kind, or does it have the like dome over it? This one also has a Bluetooth connection to where I can hook up my phone's to my mask while I'm sleeping, Bluetooth, and be playing like whatever ambient, Spotify music or something like that. But white noise. Have you guys ever tried sleeping with white noise or brown noise? There's like blue noise, pink noise. There's
Yeah.
every kind
There's
of noise you can
a
think of.
bunch of different ones. I used to sleep to thunderstorms a lot, actually. You kind of mentioned it
Yeah,
earlier. Like subtle rain.
rain, thunderstorms. Yeah, I have to be careful about what sounds I try to sleep with because it'll keep me awake. Like I can't sleep to music a lot of times. If I ever try that, like I'm just gonna be hearing the words. But we have a water fountain for my dog, and I leave it running all the time, and that is like kind of noisy in the living room, but that noise kind of carries into my bedroom and kind of keeps a nice hum,
Almost like a
and
little trickle of a stream.
yeah, there's a nice background noise for it. Um,
So, whenever I have neighbors that have parties within close vicinity to me, um, you know, like late that go late into the night, a lot of the times what I do is I'll turn my TV on and I can sleep with the TV on and it doesn't like the noise from the party doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I had to get rid of TVs and anything to be able to watch out of my room.
I
Yeah.
don't really watch my TV at night when I'm laying in
Cheers,
bed.
everybody.
Usually,
A
when
lot
I
of
go to
times,
bed, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. So
yeah,
it's
a lot of times I'll have it on for background noise. You know what I mean? Yada yada. But then there's
like,
always that instance where I get super interested in the show or the movie that I'm watching. You know, it catches my attention for a few minutes.
Picks you up a little bit.
Yep. Okay. Well, now it's lost my interest. I might be rolling over, falling asleep again. Oh, wait. There's gunfire and loud explosions again. What's going on? You know, so I can't sleep with movies or TV shows, stuff like that on music.
What about the phone? A lot of people make the mistake of scrolling at nighttime before bed
You
on
have to be
Facebook or
very
whatever.
very conscious about not scrolling in bed. I have my phone next to me because I use it as an alarm. You know, it's. I mean, it's.
Me too.
I've
When I go to
always.
bed, it's no phone. I actually a lot of you might know this, but after my show at night, I no social media after the show. Like I don't even respond to messages after the show unless it's
Yeah.
something urgent.
Yeah.
Now that's not to say that's not to make me look good because I'll go up and I'll watch TV for 2 hours and be like, well, why not asleep yet? Like, well, okay.
Yeah.
They say the screens in general, just not just your
I do
phone.
have I do have a hard time after this show. Sometimes it runs past 10 whatever 10:30. I have a hard time shutting down after that to get to sleep. So my sleep schedule, my circadian rhythm, I think is what it's called. Is that
Circadian rhythm.
is that right?
Cicadas.
Um,
There, you're mixing cicadas and circadian.
yeah, there you go. Um, I have found I try to go to bed at 10 and I get up at 7 o'clock every morning now. I'm in reality more around midnight to 7 is my in bed time. So
I'm gonna pull up Grok. We'll ask it some questions about sleep.
what? Who?
Grok. We're gonna
I
pull
don't
up
know who that
Grok.
is.
He's gonna give us a hand.
Who is it though? What is it? AI or what?
It's AI.
Um,
so I had
But
to
what's that?
I had to retrain my brain to understand that my bed is for sleep, and not scrolling on Facebook or watching movies and doing all that stuff. Uh,
Yeah. And in the morning when I wake up, I will sit there for a little bit, but not every day. It's just like whenever kind of helps me wake up a little bit, even though they say not to do that either.
yeah, they say don't do that either.
All right, so we
That's where
got Grok.
you wake up in the middle of the night and you're in bed for like 15 minutes laying awake. They say to get up, like not to lay in bed awake for that long, even in
oh,
the
I
middle.
like laying in bed. I lay in bed and I check all my emails, and there's certain tasks that I do with my social media because once I get up, I don't have time to fuck around with anything anymore. My day is off like
You should get
off
out
the
of out
races.
of bed and do that stuff.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. I like to lay in my bed. I lay in my bed for about an hour, so I wake up about 5 usually, and I'll lay in my bed. I'll turn the news on. I'll listen to like the local news.
Are you on Mountain Time?
Yeah, I'm on Mountain Time.
Okay.
So I'll lay there in my bed for about an hour and I'll listen for the local, like the weather is usually what I'm interested in. And I wake my brain up I play like Candy Crush and I check my Facebook and I check my emails. And, I do like my good morning posts in my group and stuff like that. Because if I wait any later, I'm telling you, I don't have time in my day. I'm busy as fuck until the time that I go to bed. I'm constantly doing something.
Is Plumber trying to come up?
Oh yeah, I see you, man. Sorry. There we go. At least that works. Man, we got 20, 25, 24 or 5 people in here, and
But I've
they're just
never been one of like Kim's talking like she's lazy. I've never been like that. Even as a kid growing up, I've always been as soon as I wake up, I get out of bed.
I like laying in my bed. I've always liked laying in my bed. I hate getting out of bed. Well, at least before I'm ready to get out of bed. If I could lay in my bed, if I could stay in bed till about 9 o'clock, I would love that. I just don't have that luxury. I have to get up and I have to go to work. I have all these animals to feed. I have shit I have to get done. So I don't have the luxury of laying around in bed. So, but I wake up at 5 so that I can do all of that, so that I especially wake my brain up. I found out several years ago that if I lay in bed and I play Candy Crush exclusively now. I've gotten rid of all the other games, but like I need something that gets my brain going and wakes my brain up because I don't drink coffee or use any stimulants or anything like that.
no
But
caffeine at all. No
nope.
tea. At least that works. Man, we got 20,
Seldom do
25,
I ever drink
25
tea,
Is
people.
and
there
when I
any feedback?
Yeah, you got us playing somewhere else, brother. I can hear
Okay,
it.
I'll fix it.
Just close the
Just mute your phone.
feed.
You're gonna want to keep it open on your phone to see comments. You won't be able to see them otherwise.
Is this Plumber?
That's Chris.
What's up, Chris? How you doing,
Chris
brother?
P. What's up? Thanks for coming up, Chris.
My
We're just
headphones are messed up. I've yet to get them, so I have to mute intermittently.
that's okay. Um, Rumble Studios has some audio issues still, I think, and we hear a lot of background fuzz sometimes. Man, all kinds of issues. It seems like the nights I have the more technical issues, I get more people in here. And the nights where things are, where I have a nicely planned show, it's
Will
like,
you not be
where's
able to
everybody
hit the
at?
ad thing at all tonight?
The what?
Will you not be able to hit the ad thing at all tonight?
I keep refreshing it. I'm not seeing it. I should. We're gonna. I bet you we're gonna get to 33 people live tonight, which is the number I have been trying to get to read the Be Naked ad.
You
I've been
know we
wanting to
will.
read Be Naked for a week now,
You
and
know
it's
we
just not
will.
going to give it to us. It's just gonna. I'm gonna send an angry message to or email to the Rumble support team. This is bullshit. You guys wanna? You guys like literally? You can't be in the Rumble Creator Program unless you use Rumble Studios. But yet they are giving us this like inferior product to try to force us to be on their platform. I would like it to work. It's much cheaper than StreamYard, but anyway. So Grok has some good things to say. There's a lot of it. I want to get down to the bottom here, though. It says, this is one I was wondering about because sometimes some people work out at nighttime. It says exercise helps, but not too late in the day. Morning or afternoon is best. It tires you out naturally and regulates your clock. And if stress keeps you up, try jotting down your thoughts or doing some deep breathing or to offload the mental noise. And then the very last thing it says, if you're still tossing and turning after 20 minutes, get up. Never heard this. It says do something boring until you feel sleepy again. Don't just lie there stressing about it.
Yeah.
Consistency is key. So give it a few weeks to see what sticks. So it starts off by talking about getting your body on a
On that sleep
consistent
schedule.
schedule. Yeah, and I mean that makes sense. We all know that, but it doesn't always work. You know, we can't always get to sleep at the same
Different
time.
people have different schedules. You know,
Yeah.
some
Well,
people are night owls, man. Some people are naturally awake at night, and that's when they enjoy being awake. And
what if you travel? What if you are a busy person and you find yourself away from home a lot at nighttime or whatever?
you're probably going to deal with
Some
some
people,
insomnia.
like myself, need something to go to sleep. Like for a while, for a few years, I was in a mental institution, and they had this spotlight on you 24/7,
That
and
sucks.
I had to put something over my eyes to get the, I can't sleep without something over my eyes now.
Covering
I
up.
can't.
Does yours have the cups in it like Wayland's does?
What's that?
Is the thing to cover up his face with?
Oh, your mask. Do you have a mask like that, Chris? Does it have like a? Is it a
Oh
flat?
no, I'm not talking about a mask. I'm saying a shirt just to cover up your eyes from the spotlight. I mean, that gets ingrained into you. It doesn't matter if it's pitch black if you don't
Yeah.
have that feeling of something over your face. Well, for me personally, I can't go to
You,
sleep.
you put a shirt over your face,
Yep, roll it up, put it right over my eye like a blindfold every night.
bro. You need to buy a mask. I got one for $14, I think, or $15 at Lowe's, which was random place to find it. But it's because it was a combination, literal like a one of those gun massage things that has different things on the end of it, and a mask that has Bluetooth in it, all for like $15, man. I'm sure you can get one. I have a thing that you can put over your face. It doesn't go around, doesn't get strapped on or anything, but it's got all these gel beads in it. You put it in the fridge, and it's like a nice cool pack for your eyes if you have a headache or whatever. And man,
I've seen those. I've been wondering about them.
Can you
I
pop them in
sleep.
the microwave and warm them up too for like a little
I
heat?
am not sure about that one. I think the ones that have sand in them can be heated up.
Okay.
The gel beads, I don't think you want to heat those up.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to heat those gel beads up. That
And
might.
I don't use microwave
I think
anyway.
they'd explode in the
This was
microwave,
My
wouldn't
or
they?
melt that
Those
yeah.
beads.
Well, microwaves. What microwaves do is they take the moisture that's in the food or in the air inside the microwave, and they're bombarding it with microwaves, which then takes any molecules and like they basically vibrates them until they break in half and it creates heat.
They get
Um,
excited.
yeah, get them all. Yeah, but it's not something I do anymore. No microwave for me. Imagine so we have all this issues with plastic, but then imagine what happens when you put a plastic container in the microwave. Then
I read one time that microwaves actually change the molecular structure of any food you put in there due to the radiation.
okay, but not to go down this rabbit hole too far, but every form of cooking changes the food and it releases nutrients out of it. So anytime you cook food, period, you're actually going to lose. Some things actually have to be cooked in order to draw the nutrients out, but even that is you're actually killing off some of the nutrients by cooking it. But the benefits outweigh the cost, I guess. But speaking of which, a lot of these chemicals and neuroinhibitors that we've talked about before, Kim, we were talking about synthetic hormones not too long ago. That stuff affects your sleep. I mean, the hormone. I just read it
Hormone
in this.
disruptors.
What was the hormone? It said is your melatonin. Your
Hmm.
melatonin levels, and that's what is being messed up with by all the screens and the different the blue light from your phone.
Yep.
Well, melatonin production changes depending on the year. So, um, in the winter, your brain produces more melatonin because you have less light. So, your brain adjusts to that and it produces more melatonin. And in the spring, when the light starts, we start having more light in the spring, your brain starts producing more serotonin and decreases the amount of melatonin that you use. So some of that happens naturally anyway, but hormone disruptors,
Well,
they
there's
do
so
more
many
than
different ones now.
well, there's what do you mean there's so many different ones?
Like different chemicals that we use on a daily basis that are disrupting our hormones, like soaps and cleaners and
Well, yeah, and it's typically the scents, the
mhm,
things that you smell, those are made with, they're petroleum based. Because
candles.
they may be like the scent may be all natural, but in order to prevent the scent, say you have a scented soy candle, right? It's all 100% natural soy, whatever, beeswax, whatever. But if it's scented, the only way that they can keep that scent from degrading is to use a preservative, and most
Mhm.
preservatives are synthetic. They're hormone disruptors.
I've
You
been working as hard. I've been working on getting rid of almost all of that from my home. So I I still can think of a few, but we now use a I don't know if toothpaste would be with the fluoride and stuff like that, but we're now using toothpaste with no fluoride. It's a Burt's Bees brand, but it's got like charcoal and no fluoride. And I'm also using Dr. Squatch soap, shampoo, conditioner. Dr. Squatch is like a supernatural brand. There's only like a few ingredients.
That's what I use.
Um, I'm using
Is
a
it is
laundry
it in a
detergent now.
plastic? Is it in a plastic container?
No, it comes in a little paper box.
Oh, that's cool. Make sure that
Um,
that paper box doesn't have any kind of plastic or
Now the shampoo and conditioner I think might be in a plastic bottle.
yeah.
Yeah, that soap
Um,
is just basically in a little cardboard box.
yeah, the liquid shampoo, you're right, I think would be. But there's different types of those type of materials too. But anyway, I just doing what I can, but still, I'm using I think Dawn dish soap. Like there's things that I don't have an alternative for yet, but doing what I
I have
can.
taken to where I clean my house with baking soda and vinegar by and large. Now my toilets, I still use like a toilet bowl cleaner because
I mean, that's how
Yeah,
they do
I want to
way
make
back
sure
in the
they're
day.
sanitized. But and I don't trust that, and I don't like using straight bleach because bleach is it's very
yeah,
harmful to you. But my toilets, I still use like toilet bowl cleaner. But on my floors, I use vinegar and water. When I clean my sinks, I have steel sinks and appliances. I use baking soda and I just make a thin paste and I put it all over everything. And it amazingly cleans stainless steel without
shines it up.
scratching it.
Yeah, stainless steel's fun. Remember
Yeah.
basic training where they make you use your toothbrush to shine up the stainless steel? Anyway, Diane says, "What about incense?" I don't know. I don't know about incense.
If it's scented, I promise you it's got a preservative in it.
Like a regular old stick of incense.
Yeah. It's got a preservative in it. You need to find out what the preservative is that's in that.
Hmm.
And
I'd
it's
be
really
interested
hard.
because, like, even like the classic incense from like the '70s, the
Most of the time, I use like a resin incense that you put on top of charcoal. I'm not sure how they get that, but I'm pretty sure that that would be less chemicals in than a stick incense.
I want to know. So to Kim's point, maybe so when you smell incense, well, I guess it does usually smell before you burn it. Sometimes it doesn't have a strong smell until it starts being burnt, and I
Yeah.
think that would be different than what you're talking about. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure they have a scent too when you just smell them. It's interesting. That's a good question, Diane. I mean, with the banning of like different dyes and stuff in the food, I hope that makes a positive impact in any way. There's some states that are doing it, and
You know what? My state, I just noticed because I keep track of. I there's a newspaper out of Santa Fe, which is our state capital. Um, they had an article this week, just earlier this week, about there's a bill that's going before our governor to ban PFAs in our state. And I was like, yes, because PFAs are these forever chemicals. They're these
uh,
things like that, and
Oh, at first I thought you were talking about protection from abuse. Or I was like, what?
I thought pedophilia
no,
is that
it's
what? Oh,
polyfluoral. I don't know. I can't remember what the technical term of them.
that sounds right. Holly something or other. Holly want a cracker.
Polycarbon, I don't know. Let me look it up.
Well, I was gonna say we have the internet here. We could check it out, but
I was
um,
gonna say I know Texas has the best gun laws in the world, but to do away with the PFA, like that's just asking for problems.
well, she's not in Texas.
Oh,
No,
I thought you said you were in Texas.
no. I'm from New Mexico.
She's from Venus or Mars or whatever. Which one is it? Boys are from Venus, right? Because they have a penis, and then girls are from Mars. Isn't that how it goes? What was the
They
old
get
saying?
more candy bars.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
Oh, my bad. Wait. Where do the
Yeah,
women go then?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We don't
How do
need
they
to go
bring us
there,
up?
baby.
Make
We're
us
born all
stupid.
natural.
Diane said I ordered some frankincense, and myrrh incense. So that's
So
actually pretty natural. That's got a natural scent. Go ahead.
I don't know. You need to check what it's made out of because there's a lot of people that put out things that are natural, and then when you break down of what's actually in it, it's got a bunch of shit in it.
There's a lot of like herbs and natural plants that you can burn, like
Yes, but if you burn them before they degrade, they're fine. But if they're not fresh, if you're buying them off the shelf, they're not fresh. I guarantee you, it's got some kind of
I see your
preservative.
point. Yeah, if it's got shelf life.
So
Speaking of,
PFAs
go ahead.
are alkyl
Alkaline,
substances.
alkaline substances.
It's
Substances.
alkyl, ALKYL,
Hmm.
polyfluoroalkyl substances.
I
Interesting.
usually go to small businesses of people that I know in Ohio and California and get them from there because I know that they know what they're about. But when you start going to bigger places, they don't have the quality control. They're just producing mass. Even though they might not mean to do that, that's just how it happens.
I don't trust anybody.
I used to say trust but
I
verify,
don't
but
trust. I am skeptical of everybody, and if you're going to put off that something is healthy or natural or whatever, I'm going to want to see what you've got in it, and I'm going to want to know what your sources are. I have had to read labels since I was probably about 5 years old because I was diagnosed with hypoglycemia when I was very young. And so I've had to look at labels all of my life because of that. And so I'm a very aware person. And, my mom had a massive heart attack when she was like 40 or 41. And I became even more health conscious. So I've paid attention to a lot of things. And, advertisers, people will say things and sometimes they're ignorant and they don't know.
bless you,
Bless
bless you.
you. Sometimes people are ignorant and they don't know things or they think they're doing right. And, you run down whatever is in something and you source it and it's like, yeah, that's, whatever. So
Yep.
I'm very skeptical of things because I've lived a long time and I've seen a lot. I'm a very, very aware person.
Well, and that actually brings up 2 points. One point is that a lot of people have gotten to the point now where we say things like uh, small business is better, buy local. There's a lot of different phrases like that. But we need to think about it a little bit more than that because even your local farmers market where you might have a bunch of vendors that make a wholesome, awesome product that's all natural, they're still buying supplies and ingredients and stuff on a bigger scale from some bigger company somewhere, and it's not always going to be on the perfect organic type of level. So we got to pay attention a little bit more than just like, oh, I want to buy from a small business because they're going to have everything organic and they're going to make sure it's no, they got to save money when they can too. Well, hey, Lisa wants to come in.
You
You
got
know,
her?
when I was
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
Okay.
I know people in all the nooks and crannies, but I just found out that OMRI, like for this soil revitalizer, I just found out that basically if you pay enough money, they'll say that it's organic.
Yeah, the whole organic. thing is a scam through the government. They actually yesterday I was reading some scientific stories on We Grow Wednesday. We talked about scientists have created a banana that lasts lasts much longer on the shelf without going bad. And oh,
Yeah.
great! And there's also an orange that scientists have. Oh, I think you. I saw Lisa for a second there.
She bounced out.
Ah, but they also created an orange that you don't have to worry about eating if you have high blood pressure. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. Like we should be doctor. So basically, the message is, don't worry, you can continue taking the pills that we prescribe you through the doctor. It's great. It's great news. Don't worry about taking natural food, eating natural foods to lower your blood pressure. And so that's why when it comes to sleep, notice none of us have talked about, oh, well, you can take some pills to sleep. Nobody wants to do that. I don't know. I mean, people have. I'm not downing you if you have to take if you to do whatever you got to do to sleep. But like melatonin, like there was a controversy on that not too long ago
Yeah,
on
it's
whether or
not
not
good
to
to
get.
take. It's not good to take it regularly. It messes up the regulation in your brain and stuff.
And parents were giving that to their kids a lot of times.
They're
Now
still
again,
doing that because there's people that don't pay attention. They're ignorant of things, and I
I
don't mean
mean,
ignorant necessarily as a bad, calling somebody ignorant, you ignorant,
unknown,
whatever.
yeah, and unknowing,
Just the ignorance.
yeah.
It's not just a physical thing. When you train your brain to do one thing, like me having to have something over my eyes in order to sleep, it will need that.
Bro, you're gonna love getting a. I'm gonna find you a mask. I'm gonna find it. Going on Amazon right now.
Hi, Lisa.
I've I've
Hi,
given my
Lisa.
son melatonin when he wants to stay up for hours and hours and hours.
I
I
thought
have
of you when I said it. You would be one of the few exceptions. like I don't know many people's kids where I'd be like, well, yeah, you should probably help them out, get them something to help them calm down. But yes, I'm sure Mr. Dill will appreciate a little calmness from that. But yes, you get my drift though. People will put their kids under with like back in the day. It used to be like a little bit of Jack Daniels on the gums.
Yeah.
Remember a little bit of oh yeah, they'll make them
Nice way to turn your kid into an alcoholic.
Yeah.
right.
I've
I
heard of
mean,
people doing the Benadryl too to get them to go to
oh,
sleep.
that was the other one. Yes, I don't know
Um,
why I said melatonin. I think I meant Benadryl.
I used to take Benadryl to
I
help
think
me go
that's
to
what I
sleep,
meant.
but it stops working after a while.
No, we didn't have the Benadryl, but they straight mixed whiskey into our stuff, and they thought it was okay because that's what they learned. I mean, that's insane to me. You give a kid whiskey, mix it in with their bottle, or rub it on. What?
Here you go,
I
Chris. Boom, man. Like you got like here's one for $8. It's 15. You would love some shit like oh that one looks even better. That's got like some
I'm gonna have
heavy
to
duty
try that.
cups.
Yeah, there's the cups and everything.
Well, a bunch of these have like this is kind of what mine looks like. That one looks different. Yeah, these are really nice. That one's huge. Covers your whole head. That's for those that have a big
Those
forehead.
ones almost look like bras for your eyes.
Yeah, they do. You saw boobs too, didn't you? All right, right there. There you go. Oh, what size cup is that? I don't know. It's a got eye cups now.
That's like an A.
There's.
probably.
I want to see the ones that are funny though. Remember that movie? Was it something? Was it something about Mary? Where she pops up in the middle of the night and she's got like there's eyeballs on the mask.
Yeah.
Makes her makes her look like she's awake. So here's another one with a Bluetooth to it, so you can actually hook your phone up to it. That's $26. I got a pretty good deal when I got mine, I guess, but I don't use the Bluetooth part at all. Here's one for
You
ten
could like
bucks.
Bluetooth anything nowadays.
Yeah, I don't really need to listen to the white noise, but otherwise it might be kind of cool for that, I guess. But All right, I'm gonna go back to the top here and see uh, with eyes. Wish.
My noise in the background is I go on Joe Rogan podcasts to people that I find that are really boring, and I'll just play that in the background because I'm not paying attention to it anyway.
Look at these.
Could you imagine you're waking up in the middle of the night, your partner having that shit on?
Or your kid come like you go into like as a little kid you go into mom's room like mom I can't sleep. Ah!
Just got animated.
Oh, look at this. She looks like fully awake, just big goggles on. That's crazy. There's a cat one. There you go, Kim.
That was almost racist, but really funny because you can make yourself look Chinese.
Well, I almost said that, but it actually her eyes looked that did not look. They weren't. They don't look like she went different with them. We'll just leave it at that. Like they look like they could be her eyes. You know what I mean?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello,
Oh,
is
this
it
one's
me
cool.
you're looking for?
Look at that one. That's badass. What color? What time? Oh, that's only $7.
I like that. That's fun.
Cute rabbit sleeping eye mask, plushy, blindfold, travel, sleep mask, super soft, funny eye cover for kids. For kids, girls, and adults, you are in that category,
Yeah.
Chris. We can get you that one, man. Yeah, if I'm gonna get you a mask, I'm gonna get you one with eyes on it. Ooh, this one has it with heated eye mask. Silk. Here's one for $8. It's silk, made of fine silks and
I always wanted to paint eyes on my eyelids for biology class. I was in advanced biology, yeah, believe it or not. But I wanted to paint them on because there's this dude, Mr. Fry. Do you remember Ferris Bueller, where the guy
mm,
goes Bueller, Bueller?
Yep.
That
yeah,
was
that's
that guy. He was the main professor person, and I fell asleep every single time.
yeah, that shit is boring when you're just like a young person trying to go have fun or whatever and want to do something other than listen to that. Diane's like, gee whiz, that was a fun ride, Kermit. Uh, who's out there, guys? Hit that hashtag PITB in the comments. We're gonna get everybody who does on a wheel for a door prize here in a little bit. I'm gonna put up the wheel for the Indoor Farmer subscribers. Spin that last time, real quick, like so. In short, I think we all know that there are some things we could. I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone, but definitely things that I could do to try to get myself a little bit more routine. Oh, look like Rose Booza is going to be number 14. She jumped on the list. But yeah, that's one reason I'm like, man, if I move my show to like 10 a.m., I could actually go to sleep at like 9 every night.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it would be better for my sleep schedule, that's for sure.
You still be
But
able to catch the
here,
same monkeys during the day.
well, and I'm actually not necessarily worried about that because I know of some shows during the day that are very successful. I'm talking like Steven Crowder, Tim Pool. They both have daily shows
Yeah.
that are some of the top podcasts in the nation right now on
Yeah,
Rumble.
I like to
Um,
catch day shows, but a lot of times that's when I have so much that
yeah, but
I
if
have
it's a
so much I have
replayable
to do.
show, you don't have to be here live. I mean, we try to make this. Every show that I do, the intention is it's a show that's definitely rewatchable, and I want you to want to rewatch it. Oh, if I missed it, I gotta watch that. That is the plan. Do I want you here live? Yeah, sure, but the internet's forever. I'm trying to design these shows for longevity, not just not
I have to
just
be in there to
people
tell
here
people
now.
they have cooties, you know?
Sure. I mean,
Gotta be in the
I
comments.
but I mean, you think about a couple other points of interest here, and this actually goes along with tonight's topic: is if I, was to do it that way, I'm kind of sacrificing my sleep and my sort of my schedule for a late night adult comedy entertainment show centered around things that are more about sustainability. And 100% that includes people in the boxes. People in the
Well,
boxes is about us being able to talk to each other and have difficult conversations over some of the most common things. And if we can't do that, which is a problem right now, if you guys agree, comment below, disagree, comment below, but it is a problem in the world, in the country, in your local neighborhood in general right now, that people cannot, they don't, they want to avoid common topics that somehow have been deemed off limits or whatever. And not just that, but the fact that we don't know, we don't have perspective from one another's lives because we have sort of shut ourselves off into our own little box, if you will, if you'll take the pun. The the fact that we want to, look at big cities where everybody lives in a big apartment building, and yet you don't, they don't talk to each other. They, maybe okay, there's exceptions, but my point is, like, in general, a lot of people aren't talking to their neighbors anymore. We're not having those conversations, and this show is all about that ability that we have to actually gain knowledge from one another by hearing what you've experienced on something and hearing some perspective on it. And it's so important because I just said, I think I said this last week, but you cannot live multiple lives at the same time, but you can gain so much perspective from listening to what other people have to say about their lives. Like, I can't live Chris's life, I can't live Red Six's life. I said this last week, but it's so true. And my whole reason for doing a sustainability type vibe show is because I think it's one of the most important things that people are getting away from. We some people don't know where their food comes from. Some people don't know, the importance of of nature, and not just plants but animals and all of the, the whole circle of life, and yada yada. That stuff is important, but it also can be some of the more boring stuff to talk about. So I thought, why not create something where it's all centered around that entertainment vibe, that late night fun type of thing. Like we used to, and I've explained this a couple of times, but I'll do it again because we may have some new friends watching over on the Rumble. But you used to watch all these late night shows, and I think there's still some still out there, right? You got all the Jimmys, Jimmy this and Jimmy that. You got Conan. You got Arsenio Hall. Woo woo woo. You have all these late night shows, right? From back in the '80s till now. Even before that, like the Tonight Show. You had you know
Saturday Night
uh,
Live.
well, no, I'm talking about the late night the late night talk shows, which are a single host. There's that same model. Johnny
With the,
Carson. Johnny
yeah,
Carson.
that's
You had there was even a female one. The Late Late Show. You had the Daily Show. Like this same sort of late night adult comedy humor, which is centered around politics. All of those shows are centered around politics. And I thought, well, why aren't we doing something like that? A late night, edgy type of show that's centered around some shit that every person on an everyday basis has to think about and worry about. And sleep is most certainly, part of every day. And well, maybe not for everybody, but it's supposed to be. That the problem is that we don't sensationalize topics that are more important to us. We sort of have this whole culture about getting ourselves distracted on things that don't have anything to do with us. Celebrityisms and all this stuff of politics abroad when we don't even think about our local politics. And I'm guilty of that. Looking at national, not local. Like, we get ourselves distracted on stuff that we can't actually even affect, big sports issues and whatever it is. And instead of thinking about some of this stuff, like, wait, where's my food coming from now? Can I even try to grow some of my own food? Can I get away from can I just shut myself off from all people and just say I don't like anyone, I don't disagree? It's like Kim said earlier, she doesn't trust anyone. That doesn't mean that you don't talk to them and you don't still have to work with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's not, so it's like you can most certainly go around. I saw this saying on a meme recently. I think Mama Rochi shared it. She said, it's hard to trust someone who disrespected who it's hard to trust someone who trusts someone who disrespected you. It says read it twice. And basically I said this. I brought it up in a space I was on. I think shouts out to Dr. Heath on the on X. I brought it up and someone disagreed and said, well, said something about respecting and stuff. And I'm like, no, 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 no. This is talking about trust. Like you can most certainly respect someone that you don't trust, right? Like you can respect a
Mhm.
whole bunch of public figures that you don't know enough to trust. Like I can respect, like certain celebrities that I actually kind of like what they do or what they talk about or whatever. I can respect it, but I don't know that person. I'm not going to say I trust them. You know what I mean? And so people get those things conflated, and it's like we need to be able to work with one another. We don't have to trust one another. You know what I mean? You can earn that. Trust is earned. We talked about that couple months or a few weeks ago. Anyway, it all connects back to the show because it's really it's making me it's keeping me up at night trying to think about it. Like, man, I'd like to move the times, but like Elisa May said, like, how would you? What did you say the other day, Elisa? Like, you probably work during the day, so you probably wouldn't be able to come on at that time. But it
Yeah, do
loses
what's
its
best for you, though. If getting REM sleep makes you feel better and it's best for you, that's what you got to do.
right. That's true.
See, my thoughts are like for some stuff I rewatch because I can. Let's just example, you're doing something on microgreens or pruning or whatever. I can watch that and get knowledge from it. But there's other stuff that you want people to kind of everybody contribute to, and then you're on a different
Yeah,
time frame. You're in different time locations, and then yeah, I don't know. But
like it
like,
would
do
take
what's
a
good for
while.
you.
Like it would take time to get people to adjust to the time, and I mean maybe I'd find new people and I'd lose other people
Mhm.
just from that. And that's not necessarily my main concern. My main concern is, will the show, like, will all the shows that I do have that same, maybe not the current impact, but the potential impact of, say, you know I'm trying to extrapolate to a point when we have a large audience, say we have like a few thousand people watching live, that type of audience, will we still have that the same impact? Say what I'm getting at is I could have the same size audience during the day and during the night, but it's the vibe of the show at night where we are more adult oriented. After the kids go to sleep, let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. Maybe let's have an argument, maybe let's get heated, maybe not, maybe let's have fun. That kind of stuff doesn't seem like a daytime thing, although you got like Maury
Yeah,
Povich and Jerry Springer and all of that during the day too. So I mean, hey, I guess I don't know. I'm so conflicted on this, you guys. It's annoying. But
I wrote
anyway,
Jerry
we'll just
Springer about that one blonde they had dancing around the pole, and he never wrote me back.
didn't Jerry, he passed away, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, a unintentional icon, that's for sure. And Val Kilmer just passed away. If you
I
didn't see
used to
that.
wonder where the hell he got those people because I never knew people like that. But now everybody's like that.
I knew a guy that was on there. He made meth. He was in prison, but he went there. He said everything is fake. He said everything about the show is fake, and they just do it for ratings. He said they orchestrated the entire thing before he even went on there. They signed all kinds of paperwork. It was all orchestrated.
Yeah, I know it was, but still, like,
Not
well,
not 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 in the beginning, wasn't it? Was it like, didn't they have like some period of time. I don't know.
I don't know. Some of it might be happening at your neighbor's house. You just don't know about it.
It seems like believable stories. A lot of it. It's like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, that makes sense.
I'm guessing they were real stories, and then it just kind of put a spin on it towards the end. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
They could have gotten. I doubt this is what happened, but you could get like police reports, like old police reports that are redacted. I don't know how you'd have to have a connection to be able to do that legally, but you get like basic police reports, and then you just get people to act out what happened, like
Yeah.
There was
create like
this
a.
one that was real, and it was unbelievable because I looked in this woman's face, and she had 10 different babies' daddies tested. None of them were her baby's daddy at all. And I looked at her, and every time she crumbled, that was real. That I could not believe that. I was like, oh my goodness. Uh,
Number 10. I'm not sure who number 10 is. Let's find out.
It's like 10.
Let's see. Rose. Rose is 14. So we got Cindy Lou, number 10. What's today? The 3rd. Yeah, so I was just thinking about stressors that might be keeping people awake, and Kim, you're right. Having those like stressful thoughts can be annoying, but something else that helped me recently, besides the peaks and valleys conversation I had with Dr. Heath, he also said that you don't want to fight your thoughts,
Uh-oh.
but if you're having like really dark thoughts, you can you can sort of add things in rather than trying to rip things away from your imagination. Like, so how do I put this? Like, you throw nicer images in until you slowly switch it up, instead of like trying to say no, I can't think about that. I'm not thinking about that. A whiteboard, a sheep. Let me count the sheep. Like, you try
in
to force other things.
meditation,
Yeah,
you feel it, and
it's
then you
subtle.
just let it go.
It's very
With
subtle. You
me,
have to.
it's not like that with me. With me, it's like if my brain wakes up and starts thinking, I'm done. Now,
Yeah, makes sense.
sometimes if I wake up, like say I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I go through that, then sometimes what I'll do, or usually what I'll do if I wake up that early, is I'll get up. I'll do one of two things. I'll either lay in bed and read and try to anesthetize my brain, or I'll get up and I'll do some stuff around the house. Like I'll come in the kitchen and do something in the kitchen or whatever, and then I'll go lay back down. And sometimes I can go back to sleep, and sometimes it doesn't matter what I do. I'm just awake for this. I'm awake, and I
I do the same thing, but I don't read. I just lay there with my thoughts. And
So, if you would, guys, hit that hashtag PITB if you are out there and you are willing to or wanting to get in on the door prize. Chris, you're welcome to hit it from the comments on the studios. Red Six, Chris, Kate, or Cat. You doing what?
get out of there.
I did the hashtag for it on Rumble, but Rumble's been screwing with me the past couple of days. I've had this problem with other lives.
What happened?
I said I put in the hashtag on Rumble, but Rumble has been screwing with me. I've been
Nope.
on other people's
Yeah,
lives and stuff, but it's
yeah.
just
It's been kind of annoying for me too, man. Um, there's a lot of little glitches happening all the time. Like tonight, I'm not able to read an ad, which as a as a small creator like I am, new trying to build still, like a dollar an episode when I do 20 episodes a month. Like that pays for my Rumble Premium. Um, so it's
yeah. I
kind of
was on
frustrating.
Twisted's and I forget who else, but I was still having trouble.
So we got Diane, Chris. Well, it could be, a lot of different apps have different glitches all the time. That's it, huh? Four people. Okay. Let me put us back up here. I want to see if Kat wants to come up. I doubt she asked me if we were going to do people in the boxes. Are you live? I wanted to
Why are
watch.
you wearing sunglasses?
Because I had a little headache. And these
Oh.
aren't sunglasses. These are, they block the LED blue light or
I
whatever.
wear my sunglasses at
They're
night.
actually they're actually good for like sitting at computers because of the
Like,
blocking of the, yeah.
Get out of there.
so they're like blue lenses or
They're green lenses, but I
green.
think they block the blue light. If I'm not mistaken, it's one of, maybe it's red. I'm not sure.
Are
All
those
right.
like fishing sunglasses? They take the glare off the water. I have some of
No,
those
I
somewhere.
wouldn't. I wouldn't wear these outside. They're not sunglasses.
Working third shift, I'm always tired. And then when I need to go to sleep, I can't.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
Yeah, it's because I don't think we're meant to be third shift. People aren't meant to be third shift. But
Yeah.
it's when it's about, I guess, the opportunities, right? People need opportunities, and when there is a whole, like, just like working on Sundays and working, at nighttime, people will find a time when they can, get in where you can get in and make that money. A lot of
Sometimes
companies
you do
found,
what you got to do.
well, and when you have companies that are like, that are a 24-hour service, like, but that's a hard one for me. Like, I don't know how. Maybe we end up with robots doing nighttime jobs, and robots doing all jobs eventually. But just four people, huh? Okay, that's okay. 20 something watching, but a lot of people are just watchers on the Rumble. That's okay with me.
They will never make wide available robots unless people can have sex with them. As soon as that
That's
happens,
already
I
happening.
Oh, they've
Yeah.
already
guarantee
They already
that.
I
made it.
guarantee you,
That's already a
boom,
thing, bud.
streamlined.
It's
They
already a thing.
already made them, and they're looking to finance them to people already.
Elisa, you want to get in on this?
No.
Okay.
I forget what it was. Futurama, I think. They introduced this robot, and one guy raised his hand and he said, "Can we have sex with it?" And the scientist said no, and everybody got up and left the room.
That's already happening though, Chris. You can literally buy
I was not informed.
you can buy like
Well,
torso,
darn
like
it.
you can buy like silicone, instead of a blow up doll, you can buy it like a silicone doll that's like legit, like heavy duty, material. Like it's almost, and then there's also separately robots that are, or different mechanical devices, which are just ridiculous.
They were talking about them
Are you
on Joe
serious? You're
Rogan.
serious?
I'm dead
Yeah, they were
serious,
talking
man.
about
I'm
it
not.
on
I'm
Joe
not. I wouldn't.
Oh, I
Kayla.
am going down a rabbit hole tonight.
Rogan. Real life
Well,
like and everything.
You're gonna need some
They're
money
talking
though,
about
bud.
how people won't want to interact anymore with one another, have real relationships
Money,
because
I'm
they
gonna
can.
start showing feet pics on OnlyFans.
Ugh, gross.
Uh, Actually, OnlyFans is going to be all men at some point soon because it'll be men running the AI accounts that are AI women, and other men are the ones they are paying the men, and they're talking to other men by thinking that they're talking to women. And it's just
Yeah.
that
Who
can keep
thinks
you up at.
that up? I always get these messages saying, "My husband's not home." Da 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 da, and I'm like, "What? Why would I even want to go to a woman? At what?" And sometimes I talk to them just to see how advanced they are, just back and forth. You know what I mean? It's insane, but people fall for this and they give them their money, and
I was
that
talking to
blows
the
my mind.
I was talking to the Facebook
Where are them
help
people
desk,
at? I don't have to go to work again. I can
right?
sleep when I want.
I was talking to the Facebook help desk the other day, and I was like, "Is this a real person?" Yes, this is the real agent. Da, 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 da. I do not believe you. I said. I said that back to him. I was like, I do not believe you. I'm like this review process is fake. You're not actually doing anything. Like you're just it's
I'm
just bull.
surprised you got a real person. I got banned from making new posts in groups for a
I don't think
year,
it's a real
and they
person.
never even gave me a reason why.
I can't go live on Facebook. That's but it doesn't matter what site I'm talking about. There's some kind of technical problems. X, Rumble, Facebook. There's always something, man. I can't imagine. I can't. I just don't understand how some of these big dogs out there make money now. I know what Joe Rogan. He's not doing a live show. He's not reading comments. He's not doing any of this, and he's big. He's huge. So maybe we move it to a pre-recorded show. We pre-record it during the day and we play it live at nighttime, and we can
Yeah,
all and all of
yeah,
us are in the comments, responding to people talking about. I don't know. That's just
yeah,
that'd
that's
be
what I
weird.
was saying earlier. It's like you make the factual content, you get someone on there so people can watch it to learn about something, and then from everything else, then you do that live.
It's kind of a hybrid show, a live stream and a podcast that has a live audience, and I like the whole thing. I don't know. It's kind of hard to get. It's kind of a difficult time at night. Getting my son to sleep and then imagine. Let's just for a moment imagine those nights when I don't have my son. I could be out and about. Could be could be a person. Could be doing something. Well, there's nothing to do, but I could be out there. I could be with Red Six at the pool night
Yeah.
or whatever.
Don't take my advice totally because I make bad life decisions. Just saying.
So just do opposite, whatever you say. We're about to say. All right, all right. I'm gonna do one more dab, and we'll get this show on the roll. But man, it's just been annoying tonight. No campaign to read. We had an awesome audience though. Appreciate you all coming in on the
It's
Rumble
good.
Studios. I'm going to be
Well,
by mid month. I'll have enough time in to be applying for the Rumble Creator Program. So let's hope that makes a difference.
well, today and tonight in Pennsylvania, in the mountains of PA, we had crazy weather. We had hail coming down. I heard a lot of other people had crazy weather, so I don't know if something's taken down or knocked out, but
Yeah,
I've had
that's true.
problems.
Could be a lot of storm issues right now. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep, you're gonna have another day of it tomorrow. Of
Well,
crazy
I'm off
weather.
tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, what are you up to this weekend, Red Six? I want to run this bubble hash again, and I would like to maybe talk to you about hooking up with the press that you said you have a friend, or I'm thinking about buying my own press because I want to start making my own rosin.
Yeah.
I think it would be
I'm
much
supposed to be
nicer.
golfing Saturday, but with as much rain as we're supposed to get tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, I don't know if we're going to golf or not.
Yeah, it's not going to be nice out. That's for sure.
I'm trying to go fishing on Saturday. Like,
I got to find something to get out and do this weekend. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up. There's going to be a whole bunch of events. Red Six and I will be at the a grow up in on the 27th.
Yep.
So be there on that. Come to Illinois. Come check it out. There was something else I was going to say.
The rosin presses, though, what I looked into, I don't know how much you looked into it. For any of them even to be worth it, you have to drop $600 into a
I've
press.
seen them for like 3 or 400 that I would want.
But I've like looked into research and comments and stuff like that, and a lot of them, it's not that it was shoddy equipment. It's they used the best equipment for the price to make that, and the only ones that it started that level started to level out was in $500 and $600 range. So that's what
I'll look
because I
into it
looked at
more, but it might be worth it over time.
That's totally doable for a superstar like Waylon.
Right.
Just
Not
gotta
not
pump it. You want one that has the pump though, so you can tell how much pressure you're putting on it too. Because the right amount of pressure and the right amount of heat gets you the best rosin.
you
yeah,
don't want you want
exactly.
the
And as
hand
soon
pump,
as you
right,
have
Elisa?
that
Not
jack, it puts up the price.
the electronic one, but the hand pump where you actually jack it. Yeah, I think that would be the best kind.
Well,
Um,
some of them don't come with the pump, so you know how much your tons you're pressing.
what do you mean they don't come with a pump?
Yeah, they have
Kayla,
cheaper
Kayla
ones that
said she
don't.
got a $300 one off of Amazon. It's a good one.
What what do they come with if they don't come with a pump?
I don't know. You did you see? I don't know.
I'll have to look it
I
up. I haven't.
seen one from Dab Press. It was a cheap one for like $200, and all it had was a handle that you just press down. It had no locks, no tightening things, no hydraulic things. You just had to press it down with your own force. I know because I bought it and I returned it.
So whoa, this one's $91. Manual heat press machine with LCD controller. What the hell? Uh, is this my whole screen? No.
Does it have the gauge so you know how much pressure you're putting? That's what I'm saying.
Let me pull this up real quick. Five-ton portable hydraulic heat press machine for 240. That's not bad.
I had one like that $174 one, but it was smaller. And you're using your own body weight to press it out.
Yeah, those are more like shirt presses, aren't they?
Those are
I
shirt
got
presses.
one of
Yeah.
those too.
hmm You'd think that that could be
Yeah, it was
used for
for a
dabs
dab
too.
press. I was just like telling you what it looked like. You had to use your own body weight in
Mhm.
order to press it out. You couldn't have it there and adjust it and just have it, go off the
Something that
entire
for
time.
pressure.
Here's one. Same one. 240. Not bad. That's a weird looking. That's a hat press. So yeah, whole bunch of styles, but I know the type that I would want. A lot of people use that type. Maybe a shirt press would work. But
Yeah.
anyway, uh, I think stress overall is our biggest. Oh, I think stress is our biggest issue overall for the most part. Most people have so many stressors now. We have so much going on in life. Like it's hard to stop and smell the roses, if you will. It's hard to get time for that these days. With trying to keep up with whatever it is that you like. I mean, it could be politics, could be news, it could be sports, or whatever. It could be learning about vegetables. Who knows? But there's always so much more to do than when you have actually time to do. So just
That's why they
remember,
say millionaires only sleep like 4 hours a night.
I don't know if that's true though. You really think that's true that all rich people that wealthy get
I
only a
don't
few
know.
hours of sleep?
If they really want to make money and feel like they got to get up and go at it again, they might only sleep 4 or 5 hours before they're like, I got to get this money again. And if they're not
I
just doing
was
it in their sleep,
I was gonna say I was once told that the average like working American gets 5 hours of sleep per night.
I need 8 or I'm grouchy.
So I wonder. Okay, this is like I don't want to get us down too deep of another rabbit hole, but I wonder what's going to happen when they perfect things like time dilation, where you can literally there will be ways to I don't know if it's the right term to say trick your brain, but there are ways to get your brain to believe that it has experienced, you know, like 100 years in a matter of moments, a matter of seconds. And like they're talking about prison sentences, doing life prison sentences in a matter of like minutes or seconds, and being able to. And there's questions on whether that's ethical or not. And I wonder if being able to, like, say on the good side of that, if we could use time dilation to actually like do and learn everything that we feel like we don't have enough time to do, and actually fully catch up. Would there ever be an actual time to be able to, where we can catch up to, like, we always think we're behind on everything in life, right? Well, let me, it's kind of a
Can
weird
you
concept, but
imagine
the prison
how
side of
much
it's crazy
peace we
though.
would have
Hey, Bri, what's
just
up? I see you on the YouTube.
just to put somebody there and let their mind and experience go that way? Can you imagine how much peace we would have?
I mean, there are similar things like that when we talk about prisoners, like the whole, what was it, Demolition Man, Sylvester Stallone movie, where their prison sentences they get put into a like literal block of ice, frozen.
Cryogenetic
Yep,
freezing.
cryogenic, or that's something that people have talked about too. But imagine, forget you being frozen and we have to like store you and upkeep you and stuff like that. Like an eye drop of liquid, boom, and you literally experience like 1,000 years in a prison. Like, or just different sort of, like, they can use nanites or other different bioengineered um, cells through like a liquid, and literally just like tailor the experience that you're about to have, and make you feel like you were there, and then literally make you go insane, like you'd go literally be insane.
Well, I'm just talking about self-reflection because I'm 44 now and I'm
Oh,
only
Joe,
starting to understand things, starting to deal with things. If I was given that much time at a younger age, I could have prevented so much.
you think we would mature faster if like they take a kid, like while a kid is the
Not even
most.
mature, but like for people that have things that they're dealing with in their head, maybe they in real life they might have to go over and over again to hospitals and therapy and everything else. If you could just change it, because the human brain will mature and I don't know the science behind it. It does different stuff. But
Well,
imagine
psilocybin's
being
been
able to
doing that.
do that
You
without
can.
going through all that crap.
I'm telling you, man. I think we talked about psilocybin before, but look into it. Even on the microdose level, it will reroute your, uh, not. I mean, I don't know if thoughts is the right word, but like your brain function, your brain synapses around damaged areas to create or to fulfill the connection, but not go through an area that is damaged. And that alone is worth a try for a lot of people, a lot of different traumatic instance trauma. They're doing a lot of testing on it for PTSD. It probably helps some people sleep too, I would think. You ever microdose, Red?
I used to take mushrooms quite a bit, not so much anymore. It
I mean,
does. It does also help with some of the TBI symptoms too, like
hmm.
concussions.
Well, I have some here, and I just don't take them that often because they actually affect me pretty strongly. I have to, even a microdose amount, I have to be careful
Start
at
small and
best.
weigh them out like half gram. I have a buddy that takes them and puts them in capsules and just takes them like a pill.
Yeah, yeah. I think some people gain a tolerance to it, and I don't. Yeah, there's something else. The the whole. I don't know if I want to call it a myth, but some people use cannabis to quote help them sleep, and I guess that's not a good thing because it's doing some suppressing. Let me look it up here. It suppresses your REM sleep, if I'm not mistaken, and it's supposed to suppress dreams, but I still dream. I just probably don't dream as much as I would. I'm guessing. Um,
That's what alcohol does. And I am coming down now. I'm tapering off because I tried to quit cold turkey and I almost died. I have a chart and everything. But I found out that alcohol suppresses REM sleep, and something builds up in your brain and it will spill over into your waking world and you will hallucinate and it gets really crazy.
um, trying to get this, trying to find out an answer. Does alcohol or does cannabis suppress REM sleep?
It does. It does something with your REM sleep.
Yeah, I want to see what they say.
People who are heavy cannabis users, I want to say, don't dream. And dreams are where REM sleep is where you dream, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
still dream though. I still have dreams, even though I'm a fairly heavy sleep user. Not. I don't use as much at like I'm at night. It's at night right now, but I probably once I get done with this and maybe a quick after show for a few, that will be the last time I smoke. But that is still a little late. It's just that I'll be up another couple hours after this. So it says, yeah, cannabis, specifically THC, does tend to suppress REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, the phase where most dreaming happens. It's not a total blackout, but it dials down both the duration and intensity of REM. So that's why, yeah, so I probably would have a lot more intense dreams. Studies like one from 1975, wow, that's an old study, in pharmacological pharmacology, psychopharmacology showed that THC cuts REM sleep time in a dose dependent way. Oh, there goes my camera. In a dose dependent way. Higher doses, less REM sleep. Oh, I see. 2017 review in sleep medicine reviews back this up, noting that cannabis users often have a shorter REM cycle compared to non-users, though the effect fades with tolerance or abstinence. So tolerance can actually make you get over that. Interesting. Well, that's just from Grok here. Take it or leave it. How it works ties to THC action on CB1 receptors in the brain, particularly in areas like the basal forebrain and brain stem that regulate sleep cycles. It boosts slow wave sleep, deep restorative stuff. It says this is from the AI early on, which crowds out REM. CBD CBD's role is less clear. Some research, like a 2013 study in journal Psychopharmacology, hints it might not mess with REM much or could even increase it at low doses, but that data is thin. So yeah, so I guess the jury's still out about taking CBD as a sleep aid. Real world catch: heavy users might not notice as much suppression over time because tolerance builds. Yeah. Stop using though, and REM rebounds hard. Vivid dreams or even nightmares can spike, as reported in a 2008 study from Sleep. That's why quitting cannabis often comes with a dream flood. Hmm.
That's what I was saying about quitting booze. It's the same thing. It holds up everything, and then it just bursts out. I was tripping out, man. I was freaking like, yeah, it was rough.
Well, Joe, that's yeah, that sucks, man. He says some of my dreams tend to come true, so I avoid remembering them. I just warned a dear friend of a dream I had, and concern for his well-being. He runs a group and never had dreams of people I never met or never. Huh. Well, yeah. I mean, I know that's a thing, and so a lot of us will say, "Well, I smoke to help myself sleep." I don't know. We might be harming ourselves more than we are helping it. Um,
I use edibles to help myself sleep, but I don't use them regularly because I don't necessarily have insomnia every every day or every night. You know, I go through periods and
Whoa, we don't want to hear about that. Oh, just kidding.
shut up. No, I'll go through these periods where, you know, one night isn't, you know, like not an indicator, but if I go 2 nights and I'm waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning, then it's like, okay, I'm getting into a pattern where I'm going to be having insomnia for weeks. So, what I'll do is if I get to the second night and I'm having insomnia the second night, then I have half of an edible, you know, before I go to bed, and it usually helps me to sleep through the night.
Hmm.
Because, like I
Now,
said, I don't have a problem falling asleep. I have a problem staying asleep.
well, that's the thing, and a lot of people. Man, my camera's not responding. Give me a moment, but a lot of people will say that is that they will use cannabis to go to sleep, and then about the time that it wears off, 3 4 hours in, that's when they're waking up again. So you could
Yeah,
try.
it usually doesn't work that way with me, but I'm a lightweight when it comes to edibles, so
True,
and
you don't
I'm not
use them
like
very
a
much.
humongous cannabis user. I don't smoke weed just
Every
to get
day.
high. I don't smoke weed to get high. I smoke it for medicinal purposes. And
Sure.
sometimes like I'll smoke it socially or whatever.
We know
But
we remember those times a couple times here on the show. It's
Yeah.
classic. Good
Joe
time.
smokes all the time and he dreams all the time. I
I
hardly ever dream.
I dream, but not like as deeply as I think I would. Pretty sure.
I seldom ever remember my dreams. Seldom.
Yeah. They say people sometimes don't remember and think that they're not dreaming.
Yeah.
Geez, Joe. Joe says I warned a couple people I know personally about dreams I had, and they blew me off, and are all in the ground now. One person died a week later, another a month later. Yeah, that's got some uh, eerie powers there, Joe. But all right, guys. It still says we got 22 on the Rumble. I'd like to go and do a little after sesh for a minute or two, but I'm going to let everybody else get out of here. We're going to go over to locals on this Friday night. Actually, have some movies to watch. I might do a little watch party this weekend on locals. Uh, Thinking about it, I'm not worried if anyone comes or not. I think I might just watch a movie and just put it just be sitting on locals while doing it, whether or not anyone's watching, and then you guys could watch it too later if you wanted to see the movie. So anyway, thanks again, thanks Chris and Elisa for coming up. Like and and shouts out to Red Six and Kim. Like you both are just your loyalty that you've shown to me. I really appreciate it. I've taken major note this move away from Facebook. People that used to sort of have that fake that I don't want to say fake as in like too angry about it, but like that sort of less than real support because they can sort of scroll through all of Facebook and sort of hit everyone. Oh hey, and it's like a whole group of people you're supporting versus the ones who actually see what we're doing on this show and the other shows that I do enough to come over here to Rumble. So that goes for all of you in the comments and everyone that hangs out on the after show. Shit, we have like we had like 8 people in there one day, all just like we're listening to Kill Tony, watching music videos and shit. It's a good time. So I will remember this, and I tell you what, Rumble, the people that watch on Rumble, those you guys out there that don't comment, but you've been with me for years now. You are the ones that are keeping me here on Rumble, and it's only going to get better once I get into that creator program. And I'm actually talking to a lot of a couple of different app creators that work for Rumble. I've talked to them and possibly getting one on the show sometime soon. So there's a lot of things in the works there, and we're still growing on X too. If you're frustrated with Facebook for censorship and other reasons, I mean, X has its own issues at times, but I like to think that having both of them is a good idea. They're both free. Join me on X. Join the group over there on X. What else can I say? Join us on Locals in just a few minutes. It's only $2 a month to get behind the paywall, and we do lots of giveaways, prizes, perks, and exclusive content. So we'll see you all on Sunday for game night, and have a good weekend, guys. Thanks again, people in the
I got to
boxes.
take my dog out. I'll see if you're on Locals then.
I'll be on in a little bit. Yep. We'll see you all later. Remember, having this
Later,
perspective,
everybody.
keeping
Bye.
us connected is important, guys, and this is what the show's all about. So remember, we all got to eat. Good night, guys. Peace.
Yeah,
this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wayland the indoor farmer, check my name. Sustainability, we about to reclaim. This is how we do it, keep it in the frame. I'm Wayland the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro set up, my LED lights. Growing all my greens, all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor